Good afternoon from the gorgeous Gold Coast again. Today I want to have a little talk about the dangers of telling lies and the consequence of lying to ourselves. When we talk or express our feelings from our belief systems, or just whoever we are, if you want to simplify it, we come from a position of expression. We want to express something that we feel to share with people verbally, through writing, through doing stuff like this, and many forms of communication. We want to express to others what we're thinking and what we're feeling, and having our opinion on world events or local events. I think you can kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. We all present that to the world. And we all add a little bit of spice to stories. That's what makes stories interesting. There's nothing wrong with expanding on a story to make that story better than what you think the story is by itself. So we're doing it all the time. We're always telling stories and communicating. But sometimes in that, we can take that a little bit too far. Because when we do stretch the truth in what we say, in innocence, it can seem funny, or it can seem entertaining to other people, and people might laugh at you, or people might be interested in these stories. So there's a payoff, if you're a good storyteller, to not be concerned about the whole truth in talking or telling your stories. But there's a big danger in not knowing the consequences of not telling the real truth of your soul. When we go through struggle, when we go through adversity, when we go through challenges, when we go through heartache, when we have problems in relationships, when we have problems in our own souls with struggle and depression. And that problem, not talking the real truth about how you feel and your truthful thoughts to other people, stops us from healing. when we can't separate pushing the truth in storytelling or general communication on a day-to-day basis to when we really need to get to the truth to heal ourselves, that becomes a problem. And we can really get lost in that and not know why we are struggling continuously and why are we not overcoming things and why are the same consequences coming back to us all the time for what we're doing in our lives. And I believe it's not sticking to truth about ourselves when it is really paramount to do. It's so easy to talk about things to people where we seek acceptance and we want people to like us and we want people to think we're funny and we want people to enjoy our company. It's so easy to take that across the line when we're struggling and keep communicating in that way and not getting to the real medicine that we need to heal from problems and struggles in our lives. And that medicine does require truth. It really does. It can't behave in a way where it's not really explained truthfully to people or truthfully to professionals to get help. If we're not truthful when we're in struggle about what is really going on for us and what we're really thinking, it's hard to get supported. It's really hard to get the support that we need to heal from our struggles through talking our real truth. Not the communication that we have with friends and not the stuff that I was talking about in storytelling and general stuff, not that stuff. Over this side, when things are really hard and we're feeling crap inside and we're really struggling, we've got to get to that pain. We've got to say it's hard. We've got to try and not blame anybody on that side. Or if you do blame people on that side, that's okay to a certain extent. Hopefully you can come out of blame because there's a lot of benefits and there's a lot of freedom when you can understand that you're responsible for everything that you do. But in that pain of talking about you were hurt, in struggle, you feel not good, your self-esteem may be low, feel scared, you feel unsure. Whatever you truly feel when things are hard needs a different narrative than the narrative that you generally use in everyday life. And as I said, the reason why it needs a different narrative because we want to heal from our struggles, what we experience in any struggle. relationships, friendships, dreams, goals, work, any struggle. It works in any struggle when you get 100% honest with why you're struggling. Whatever you do, don't bring this stuff over here that you generally use in your everyday life and communication to your struggles, because you will minimize your struggles if you try to rationalize it from this side. If that makes sense, you will minimize the struggles from going, "No, it's okay, I'll get over it. I'm okay, I'm fine, I'll be right." Well, sometimes you're not going to be right. Sometimes you're not okay. You can sugarcoat struggle and pain as much as you want, but sometimes that's not enough to heal. The true healing and communication with that stuff is truth, is your truth. Not talking to people about your struggle and pain to give them what they want to hear. You must give them your truth to heal or to start the process of feeling better within yourself by letting it out. And knowing both sides of how we communicate is really important. When you know who you are on both sides of the coin, and both sides of the coin's okay to be. There's nothing wrong with, as I said, putting a bit of spit on, your communication, having a laugh, fitting in on this side. It's all good, like all sweet, and there's nothing wrong with it. We need that. But when it gets hard, we need this stuff over here. And we don't want to bring that over here. That's going to come a little bit, but we want to make sure that this stuff over here is our real pain, our real truth, our real struggle. But sometimes people get that confused. And they think it's okay to, or they probably don't even think it's okay to bring that up. They don't know they're doing it. And that's why I think sometimes people don't heal fast from communication, because they're not talking about the right things here. When you struggle, you're in pain. When you struggle, you're in not a good place. And that's different for everybody. But please explain that as precise and clear as possible to people. It's really important. And, no lies over here. Truth, your truth. Your truth is you, it's not what other people think. It's your truth, which is important. And your truth is valuable. But that's what you got to explore on this side of getting healed from your truth. It's very important that you know that. So when you do reach out for help and support about your problems and your struggles, you're on the money here of what you've got to talk about. You just don't go to get yourself fixed up and not talk about the real stuff. Because talking about the real problems and the real feelings and the real thoughts on this side is completely different to that line of communication over here. So just get this clear. So maybe there's a takeaway in that, maybe not. But either way, God bless, and you have a great weekend. few cars out there at the back of me, lovely big tree. Yeah, look after yourself and be good to yourself. Everybody's beautiful in their own way, even though we mightn't see that all the time. There is beauty everywhere. Yeah, absolutely everywhere. Yeah, try and always see that, and hopefully you'll see it in yourself, because that's where it starts. You take care now. God bless.